Hey everybody! With the release of Suicide Squad this week, I thought it would be an appropriate time to talk about my top 10 favorite DC villains on film and television. So here we go. I just want to start off from the bat. I was trying to get Mark Strong on this list as Sinestro because I thought he was a really good choice. And I thought he did well for what was given to him. But the problem with that role was that Sinestro didn't have a lot of screen time, and that movie really screwed things up for both Ryan Reynolds and Mark Strong. So unfortunately, I couldn't put him on this list because he wasn't really given enough to do to really shine more. And there were a couple of other choices I really wanted on this list as well. But the top 10 I have here, people are either going to agree or disagree, and that's fine. That's opinions. And to try to make this fair as well, I wanted to pick one actor to represent that character instead of putting like 5 Jokers on the list or something like that, So let's get through this. Let's talk about my top 10 DC villain portrayals. At number 10, I have Aaron Eckhart as TwoFace, aka Harvey Dent. He starts off as the hero in this movie, but then he ends off as the villain. Like he says in the beginning, you either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain, and that's what happened. He lived long enough to see himself become the villain. It was a really good portrayal of Two-Face, and much better than the Tommy Lee Jones portrayal, I have to say. So it was a great way to redeem this character that's enriched in the comics and in cartoons, that it was great to see this version in live action. And I really think it helped not, make The Dark Knight what it was. It wasn't just the Joker's portrayal, but it was Two-Face's portrayal as well. At number 9, I have Manu Bennett as Deathstroke, and this is from television, obviously, from Arrow, and definitely one of the best villains in the best season of the series so far. Arrow Season 2 really focused on Deathstroke and his turn at becoming evil. What made him messed up in the head, how him and Oliver fell apart because both of them were friends in the first season, and then their friendship crumbles in this one. And it was really great to watch that betrayal. And when he went after Oliver in the present day situation, he went after him big time. No pulling the stops, nothing. It was a great character played by a really good actor who was also in Spartacus and the Hobbit trilogy as the White Orc, the leader. Number 8, I have Michael Shannon as Zod, and this character is so great. I love the character of Zod. I liked him as Terrence Stamp as well, but I feel the Michael Shannon version is the one that really elevates the character and makes him more interesting for me. Seeing how he is this villain that wants to, uphold his planet, uphold his heritage, his species. And I thought that was a really cool way of looking at it. He looked at himself like the good guy of the story. Well, in the original Superman movies, I felt he was just a flat-out two-dimensional villain, which was good for the movie that was in. But I feel like Shannon Zod was a much better portrayal of that character. At number 7, I have Malcolm Merlyn, aka the Dark Archer, played by John Barrowman on Arrow. And this is a great character. Some people can maybe look at him as another Ras al Ghul, which he does become later on in Season 3. But I feel like Season 1 of Malcolm was really well done. I still think Malcolm Merlyn is a good character, and I can't wait to see his portrayal of the character, how they're going to fit him into all 3 DC shows now, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, and The Flash, because he signed a multi-TV contract, which is crazy, along with Wentworth Miller and Katie Cassidy as Captain Cold and Black Canary. I'm really looking forward to how they handle those 3 characters, specifically Malcolm Merlyn, because he is a great villain. Back in Season 1, the way the producers described him was, what if Bruce Wayne killed that guy in Batman Begins? Remember in Batman Begins, Bruce Wayne was told by Liam Neeson's character, kill this man so we know that you are going to be one of us. Bruce Wayne, this would be the Bruce Wayne that would have killed the guy instead of not killing him. At number 6, I have Tom Hardy as Bane. Our first look at Bane in live action features was the Bane in Batman and Robin, and obviously we fans who wanted to see this character in live action didn't get what they wanted. But thankfully, Christopher Nolan's dark and gritty reboot reimagined Bane into something much more better. Say what you want about his voice, but he was more intimidating than whatever that piece of shit was in Batman and Robin. So Tom Hardy, thank you for putting on the mask and keeping it on too. A lot of actors would probably want to take it off at some point and show their, facial expressions and stuff like that. But you could still see your facial expressions with the way that costume was done. And when he actually broke the bat, one of the greatest moments in the movie for a lot of fans, because it echoes the comics, and it was great to see that on film and how intimidating he was. At number 5, I have Michael Rosenbaum as Lex Luthor. Now, a lot of people are going to probably be calling me out crazy, putting a TV actor over Tom Hardy. I like Tom Hardy's portrayal, but I feel that this version of Lex Luthor is a really great portrayal. Maybe Michael Rosenbaum isn't as strong as an actor as Tom Hardy, but as a character, the way it was written, the way it was developed as Smallville continued on for its 10-season run, I felt this version of Lex Luthor was a great character. This is, as someone once put it, it's what Anakin Skywalker's, journey should have been on how Anakin went over to the dark side. And I thought that was a nice little way of looking at it, because I totally agree. The way you care about Lex at the end, and you're hoping, even though you know what his destiny is going to become, you know where he's going, and you don't really want him to go there, but you know that no matter what, it's eventually going to happen, and it does. And when it does, Michael Rosenbaum, again, knocks it out of the park. When he plays evil Lex during season 7 is where he finally completely falls, and it's great. It's my favorite season of Lex Luthor's arc, definitely. And when he returns in the finale, just that little moment that we get with him and Clark together one last time, the conversation is great between them, because their destinies are finally here. At number 4, I have Tom Cavanagh as the Reverse Flash. Now, to be fair, the Reverse Flash is played by 2 different actors, and I think both of them are great. But back in season 1, you gotta admit, most of it was because of Tom Cavanagh as this character. I think he portrayed it really well. You didn't know what this character was thinking. Was he trying to help the Flash, or was he trying to hurt the Flash? And there's more depth to him than just, this one actor playing him. Now, you're probably wondering, wait, David, 2 actors playing him? So which one was the real version? It's a very interesting detail that I don't want to spoil too much about. If you haven't seen the first season of The Flash, go check it out. But this man is a magnificent actor. And I'm not just saying that because he's Canadian. I love Jim Carrey, and his portrayal as the Riddler is great and all, but he didn't make my top 10. Tom Cavanagh made my top 10 because I really love the character that he was playing in this show, and he really elevated it to the next level of what these TV shows based on superheroes should be. I feel like he really made it that much more interesting. I remember as soon as Flash season 1 was over, I was on Twitter yelling at the producers, you better bring back this actor, because freak man, he was amazing. At number 3, I have Liam Neeson as Ras al Ghul. There was a version of Ras al Ghul on the Arrow version, but I felt that version was good, but not as good as Liam Neeson's portrayal. I mean, when you're putting another actor against Liam Neeson, you're out of luck, man. But Liam Neeson's portrayal, what made it really great was how he starts off as a father figure to Bruce Wayne at the beginning of Batman Begins, and then how he turns on him towards the end in an unsuspecting twist. I thought it was a really great take on the character. And even though, he doesn't have what he is in the comics where he's been living for centuries, I don't mind that for a realistic take on the character, because the character still felt like that version from the comics that I've read or that I've seen as a cartoon character. I think Liam Neeson really brought that warmth to it in the beginning, and that's what made it hurt so much more when he came back to Bruce at the end. And that could be the same said for Tom Cavanagh as the Reverse Flash as well. At number 2, the only female DC villain on my list, Michelle Pfeiffer. Now, some of you are probably wondering, what about Anne Hathaway? Wasn't she great too? Anne Hathaway was amazing as Catwoman. As a matter of fact, I even have trouble picking which one I like more. But when I look at Anne Hathaway's character, I look at more as like an anti-hero. She's more hero-ish than villain. Michelle Pfeiffer to me is more villain than hero. Even though she sort of has that gray area too in the movie, I feel like she walks the line more of criminal than hero. Where Anne Hathaway actually did help Batman a lot more in The Dark Knight Rises. With Batman Returns, you got Michelle Pfeiffer kicking Batman's ass, kicking the Penguin's ass, and kicking Christopher Walken's ass. She is awesome in this movie. Such a great performance from an amazing actress. I would have liked a spin-off Catwoman movie from her. And too bad that didn't happen because we got, well, you know. And finally, the number 1 choice I have on my list, Heath Ledger as the Joker. Was there any doubt that this guy would be at the top of my list? I love the Joker. The Joker plays off Batman so well. How opposites they are. That's what makes them work together so well. When you have a really good villain, you showcase the strengths of your hero, and that's what the Joker does for Batman. And I think that's what a lot of these villains do for their opposite heroes. And I feel like the Joker, really was always one step ahead of Batman until the very end when Batman finally figured out how he can get over the Joker. And I really love so many scenes in this movie with this character. Now, I thought the Jack Nicholson version of the character was good. I really love Mark Hamill's take on the character as well. I think he closely resembles the Heath Ledger version for me, but if I had to pick one version of the Joker, it's going to be the Heath Ledger version. I think Jared Leto is going to be really cool. I can't wait to see his portrayal on film. He looks like he kind of has that Heath Ledger vibe there, and I'm looking forward to seeing that portrayal as well. Despite his tattoos, it doesn't seem to bother me too much. I'll know even more when I see it this Friday, so stay tuned. But yeah, that scene in the prison between Batman and the Joker, the conversation they're having is so powerful and so strong. I could watch it for hours. I could just watch a movie with Heath Ledger as the Joker and Christian Bale as Batman in a prison together, having some coffee and talking shit. So guys, that was my list of my top 10 DC villains on film and television. Tell me what you think. Who are your favorite DC villains on either side? Do you like the villains on the movies more? Do you like the TV versions more? Do you like both of them like I do and just collide them into one list together? Because yeah, even though the movie versions have higher quality, higher paid actors, higher quality actors, the TV version has some surprising, really well written, sometimes even really well acted versions as well. So with that being said, guys, comment on this video, subscribe to my channel, like this video as well, and check me out on Facebook, Twitter, check out my podcast where me and my cousin and Derek and my brother Kevin, who you've probably seen or heard before, we will be doing a spoiler review of Suicide Squad this Saturday or Sunday, we'll see. And I'll be doing a non-spoiler review hopefully this Friday or Saturday morning, so look out for that. And until next time, guys, take care.